and the Knicks' chances, whether or not they are number one, or at least we know they'll get a top 5 pick. From what you've been studying so far, would you say just anywhere in the top 5 matters, or are you like most fans where it's like you got to get number one because you need to feel that momentum change for everything?
Well, naturally, to get someone like Zion, who could be a really special player and prove that last year in college, his ability to play with a flair. I worked for someone at one point told me that if you can ever draft a player that plays with tremendous flair, you have to pick that player because of how it will galvanize your franchise and galvanize your crowd and even galvanize the media covering the team. So, Zion and I think John Morant, the two of them are really in a class by themselves. I worry about RJ Barrett from Duke. I know he has the NBA body. I know he's very young and he can get a lot better. He has a tendency to play in like straight lines running over people. That doesn't necessarily work in the NBA. So I don't think this is the kind of draft. Once you get past 3, I don't think it's like, hey, it's over. There's no other good players in the draft. Studying it down to about 15, depending on what your team is looking for, I think you can still get a very good player. And I think some of the guys in that class are being undersold.
All right, Brendan, specifically then, who do you like aside from the players that we all expect to be elite in the studies that you've had?
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm going a totally different way. So you have the 3 guys at the top. And then, if I were a team and I were doing the draft process, I would take a very hard look at Coby White, and I would take a very hard look at Nassir Little from North Carolina, obviously a point guard and a small forward type of a, prospect. But think of it this way. They're both North Carolina guys. Roy Williams went at Kansas, and in his early years at North Carolina, he had a lot of great transition players, secondary break players, and people who may have not been polished in the half court. Well, since that time, the NBA's totally changed. All the game is about is transition and secondary breaks. It's all that anyone runs. So I'm not saying these 2 kids are the best next 2 players, but they have a high chance to succeed because of the pace that North Carolina plays at, and that translates to a certain degree to the NBA.
For more great videos from the MSG 150, check out right there. And remember, our show is on Monday through Thursday, 8 to 10:30 p.m. on MSG Network and MSG Go.